Longtime Battlefield Fight League ring announcer Darcy McBride.
Yes, sir.
You have called a lot of fights.
700-ish?
Something like that.
Something like that.
You've seen a lot of fights. You've managed fighters. You've done what you do. One of your fighters that you actually managed had a belt wrapped around his waist tonight, but not for winning a fight.
That's right.
For being inducted into the Battlefield Fight League Hall of Fame. Just talk about how much that means to you, man.
I've been doing this for 49 shows and I've missed about 8 or 10 in the middle somewhere. And, you know, every night is something new here at Battlefield, and it's always, you know, for the most part exhilarating and this and that, but not every night do I get to feel pride in the way I did tonight, okay? Graham Spencer, as you said, you know, was who you're alluding to, makes it to the Hall of Fame tonight. G. Spence, back when he was hot, when we were doing our thing, 2012, you know, 5 years-ish ago, he was destined and on his way to being that next big thing. You know, where Jeremy Kennedy is right now is where Graham should have been those years ago, and albeit, you know, the injury that took that away from him, and, you know, I will never forget the morning of him texting me, telling me, can that hang on a second, please? I'm in charge. I will never forget the morning when I got the text of saying, hey man, you know, like this is it. I'm not able to do this anymore. And I remember my heart just sank, and I thought, you know, a guy that works that hard, never say die attitude. He's doing great. Guy's running a gym, he's killing it. Beautiful wife, Jennifer and Graham are doing great and hasn't missed a beat since. I'm sitting over here, yeah, I feel nostalgic and bad about it, but tonight was a way to put a nice bow on it, you know, and bring him into the cage, speak about his accolades, you know, MFC champion, BFL champion, a champion at life. The guy is a great person. I was able to be lucky enough to grow up with him in the same town, and just a class act through and through. So to be able to share that with him was so cool, like beyond words cool. And then...
Let me ask you.
Yeah, okay, shoot.
4 fights later, Chris Buckwus Anderson enters the cage to step up a weight division, moves up to middleweight to fight for the vacant strap against the very dangerous Jared Revell. Lights him up a little bit on the feet, then decides to go to the ground with him and locked into a very, very tight triangle. Talk about that part before we get into anything else.
When I was doing the commentary for that, and I could see, and you could see how quickly that right leg came over of Jared's, and it tucked, and he had perfect, he didn't even have to grab the ankle and pull it, like it was sunk in. And in my pre-fight breakdown that I talked about on my page, I said, you know, Buckwus is smaller up here than a lot of guys at 185 that are like a little more, you know, stocky. And I worried I said he was going to go for a top end choke, head and arm triangle, so albeit similar, but by way of the leg triangle. It wasn't able to be finished because he was a little too slender, I think. If you had a lot of guys that are a natural 85er, the fight's over, man. It was so tight, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, this is what I said, where he was going to be tested, and he did. For 30 seconds he looked out of his element, and he was able to right the ship, and somewhere in there landed the elbow that did the damage on the eye, and there was a cut sustained in the whole, like in the exchange. And you know, we get to a point where Buckwus is able to slip out that back door, and you almost saw Jared's chance slip out with it in a way, because you're not likely to hit a submission that clean, that early again, and now you've got blood incorporated. And so fast forward a little bit, you know, Chris is able to use some of the striking, and Jared Revell, to his credit, was in there returning, and it shows on Chris's face. You can see it afterwards. He's not in any way unscathed, but the damage that was done in those tight exchanges, it was, you know, the doctor chose to stop the fight. I'm safety on the fighter's side, sure. Jared told me and everybody inside the cage he could have continued, and I believe it. But fast forward a little bit more to outside of the cage and what we just got to see down here backstage. And I always make a habit to go see the main event guys and check on everybody and make sure they're good. He won the fight inside the cage, but the fight that he is winning outside of the cage, it makes me, as an island resident and an island boy, so proud to watch somebody unprovoked give back and look for, and this has fuck all to do with fighting, okay? Honestly. It doesn't matter. This isn't about fighting. This is about somebody who feels a palpable pulse on helping fellow people, and that's a whole other level. And what I got to experience tonight by him making history with 2 belts pales in comparison to the impact he has on humanity. And he comes from the place that I live. I am overflowing with pride right now. The Vancouver Island region is so proud of the guys that we got to highlight tonight, and I'm so proud of all these guys at Battlefield that put it on. There's no better promotion in Canada that builds talent, and I don't give a shit where you are in this country. I'll argue that point to you because I've watched damn near all the fights, and I know who these guys are, I know what they put in, and I know how hard they work. Thank you to all the athletes tonight for BFL 49. This is right up there with the most intense experience I've had calling a fight card. And from the guys who started it off with the Muay Thai card to Jared Revell and Chris Anderson in the main event, you guys all deserve champion glory. I have the highest and utmost respect. G. Spence, my boy, so much love, congratulations. Chris Buckwis Anderson, 2-weight champion. I'm done, Jared, that's it. You gave me the floor and I thank you for it. My big mouth overflowed all my pride. That's it. See you for BFL 50, July 8th.